All right. Check to see if we're oriented properly now.
Right. Yes, we are. We're good. All right. Take 2.
Technical difficulties. We got it settled now, though. Is it oriented correctly now?
Yes, we're good. Thank you for your patience, and this is our second attempt to get this party started.
For some reason, Facebook did not cooperate that time. We had to reorient the camera. All right.
All right. Again, I am Mandy Clark, and this is Keith Smith, and we are Winning Mindset Consulting. And we are going to take some time tonight to talk about some of the lessons that we've learned about coaching a front desk sales team and retaining some of your best talent. So hopefully our lessons can help you to become more successful.
And while we're waiting to see if anyone wants to join us tonight, we did put all of our lessons into a book, and we're going to be giving away 3 copies of this book tonight, along with this cool tote bag, which we're going to put in here, this book, as well as some of our most popular articles that's been most popular on our LinkedIn page, as well as on our blog, which is winningmindsetconsulting.com. So stay tuned, but we did put 10 of our most important lessons, 11 actually, because there's a bonus lesson in here, on the most important lessons we learned on the front lines. So if you're out there on the front lines and you're looking for someone you can talk to or get some advice from that has also lived that life, then that is us, because we've been where you are and we want to do what we can to help you guys. And while we're also waiting, some of our most popular articles, we're going to discuss a little bit of content tonight that hopefully can be of service to you, that can help you in some form or fashion. And one of those is, now most places, especially if you're open or if you are in a wellness business of some kind, whether it be fitness, yoga, massage studio, whatever, but you have a front desk team, then you have encountered some challenges, obviously. And we have come across or have created this article on 3 keys on building your front desk sales team.
Yeah, and really the first most important lesson is, as a leader, you need to be able to participate and do what you're preaching. So you can't just delegate and tell people how to do it and not be able to perform it yourself. Because if you're just telling people how to do something and you're not showing them by example or even giving them a why they need to do something, it's going to fall on deaf ears and they won't do it because they won't respect the person that's giving them the message.
That's exactly right. In fact, we like to say that leaders don't just delegate, they participate. Because people will not receive your advice or your instruction, or much less correction, if you're trying to advise them how to do a job that you don't know how to do yourself, or that you have not demonstrated that you actually know how to do. So it's very important to lead by example or lead from the front. And that cannot be overemphasized. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we have another key that we think is extremely important.
Mindset. It's where we got our name. Because with the right mindset, the winning mindset, any person can do any job successfully. And what that means is that the person that you're training needs to have an open mind to the message that you're trying to give them.
That's exactly right, because without the proper mindset, no amount of training, I don't care how good it is, will be effective. Because we like to say that you have to have the mindset to win. And like Mandy said, that's where we got our name, Winning Mindset Consulting, because it all begins right there. There's lots of consultants, lots of training out there, people who are doing a fantastic job, are delivering great content, but there's fewer who actually address the importance of achieving or creating the proper mindset in your team. And that is absolutely crucial and actually should be step 1.
Yeah.
Let's see, for example, this too, when you get someone on the front lines that you are trying to train, this is where you'll immediately see if there are any weaknesses in your hiring process. Because your hiring process will hopefully be weeding out those individuals who have a predominantly negative outlook on life, because you cannot coach that, you cannot train that. They have to be at a place where they're at least open-minded to change, open-minded to learning things new, and be self-driven to improve. Agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What's another important key?
All right. The one of the final important keys to creating this dynamic sales team for your front desk is having a training program that you can follow and tailor towards each person. So what does that mean? That means that you have, let's say we developed one for our sales team, and it was about 4 weeks long. And that first week was getting to know the program. We gave them a packet with scripts, and we used to tell them that these scripts are going to give you the knowledge and language to use until you can find your own words with the information that we're providing. Because you never want to micromanage every little thing that they do, because it will drive them crazy and you'll drive yourself crazy, quite honestly.
Exactly, very true. No, you may be working for an organization, or maybe you have your own independently owned and operated business, and you don't currently have a training program. Well, it is crucial to create one, whether you are working for a franchised organization and you have individually owned your own franchise or your own independent business. It does not matter. You need to have a structured, self-created, if necessary, training program. One thing I wanted to point out was the point is to create a training program that has crystal clear goals. Because if you do not clarify for your team exactly what the goal is of the training, well, then you're never going to reach the mark that you're shooting for.
Yeah.
Like Mandy said, now we can go down some of the things that we did where we used to co-manage a business together. But you need to create your own examples or create your own techniques and methods for your own business. But we did create basically an information packet that would serve as a reference point for those individuals on your front desk team. Like Mandy said, it had scripting that we, like Mandy emphasized, that we didn't want them to sound like robots, but they needed to have the words to say until they learned to use their own words and to have their own words to describe the services and products. We also did mindset training right at the beginning. And you may wonder, how do you train someone on mindset? Well, obviously, they have to begin with being coachable, being ready to be trained and are willing to be trained. Now, we use something that's in our book that we mentioned earlier, the top 10. This, if you have that book, you'll see this triangle. And this triangle is very simple and very easy to use. At the top of the triangle, we use the word destiny, but you can put goals, your end game, whatever your end game is, can go at the top of the pyramid. Below that is decisions. Below that is state of mind. Below that is feeling. Below that is thoughts. And the base of the pyramid is focus. Now, you may wonder how this applies to business, because obviously you see the application to you as an individual, but it also applies to business. By creating a training program that has clear goals and reasons for what you're teaching, you're directing your team's focus. You are focusing them on where you want to go. Mm-hmm. And when people focus, they develop habits, thought patterns, which is what you want to incorporate into your front desk team. Now, these thought patterns will affect the way they feel. Now, you may think, it doesn't matter what people feel, but it absolutely matters what everyone feels, because feelings, your emotion, is what creates your state of mind. If you have a good state of mind, you're going to do what?
You're going to do great things for that business.
Yeah, you're going to make great decisions. If you have a really poor state of mind, well, your quality of decisions aren't going to be well. Yeah. So this has direct application to training the front desk team. So when they make quality decisions, guess what? You cannot but help achieve what you're trying to achieve. And we can talk the rest of the night on mindset, but that's absolutely where it all comes down to. Agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to mention, Lindsay, thanks for joining us. And I completely agree. If people thrive when there is a structured environment where they can learn and train. Because if it's just haphazardly done, everybody will get bits and pieces of information, and there will be no uniformity and no sense of ownership to that information.
Exactly. And Lindsay worded that very well when she said that she wasn't just dictated to. Nobody responds to that. I mean, if you're a manager, ask yourself, would you respond to that? And you would not, or at least not favorably. So no one likes to be dictated to or talked at. They like to be shown how to do it by someone who also knows how to do it. So that's why it's imperative for leaders to participate, not just delegate, right?
Yep.
Again, as we're going through this, if any questions come up with anyone, about what we're saying, please spit them out. Or if you're watching this on the replay, we're going to be monitoring this video for the next several days, because we're going to pick from those comments, by the way, the 3 winners of our book and
Yep.
tote bag and bag full of useful articles that we've written that can help you in your business.
Absolutely. So, and just to kind of finalize, finish off what our training program involved, it involved doing role playing and making it fun role playing, not just reading from the script at one another. You know, using the more experienced staff members to role play real life situations that they may have experienced with various customers or employees or what have you, and shadowing and just having the new employee watch the experienced employee and handling phone calls, customer interactions, and things like that, and different ways to do things on different programming programs that you might be using, checking out, booking, and any kind of things like that.
Absolutely. And it's important, like Mandy just mentioned, to have your new hire or your inexperienced team members shadow your more experienced, more successful team members. Because that's what we call peer coaching. And we've written an article about that too, I think, at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But peer coaching is very effective because you as owner or manager, or even if you're a regional trainer, you cannot do it all. You cannot always be there. And your new hire will spend more time with their other fellow teammates than they probably will be with you. So using peer coaching, like Mandy just said, is an extremely effective method to do. And something else that we also trained on, and this is the part that everyone always wants to emphasize, and rightfully so, though obviously things like mindset and other things are important as well, but sales training. Yes, we've done a lot of sales training, and don't be afraid to seek for outside sources. There's lots of resources out there,
Yes.
like for instance, Jeffrey Gitomer, if you're familiar with him. Lots of free YouTube content you can go to avail yourself of to help train your team. Sometimes it's good to bring in different messengers. We've hired outside people and even consultants to come in and talk to and train our team with sales training.
Yeah. The nice thing about having an outside source for sales training is if it's always coming from the same person, they start to tune you out and they don't hear the message. And if it's coming from somebody else, they might use a different phrase or different languaging that will connect with the staff. Even though they said the exact same thing that you may have, they hear it from somebody else, and for some reason they have that aha moment. And really the important part is them having that aha moment and being able to produce the results that you all are looking for.
And understand too, if you have people on your team maybe you've hired who do not have a sales background or are very inexperienced in the world of sales, you may find that they have a preconceived negative stigma about sales, and many people do in our culture. You can help overcome that by something we often use is by teaching our front desk people to don't worry about trying to sell the product, just educate the client. Okay, just educate them on the benefits of what you are doing, what you are offering, or what they just experienced, whatever the case may be. But it's just a conversation. It takes the pressure off your front desk team and gets them used to selling without even realizing they're selling. They're just helping people.
Yeah.
Like Zig Ziglar said, you stop selling and start helping. And that's really our philosophy and how we trained our front desk team. And it worked. We went from 11% closing ratios to 31% closing ratios in 3 months' time.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah,
All this
absolutely.
Stuff works.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Anybody else? Thomas Sutherland, hello. So glad you joined.
Thank you for coming in.
All the way from Alaska. Thomas rocks. It's chilly here in Kentucky, which is where we're broadcasting from. I bet it's still warmer than where Thomas is right now. Now, feel free, anybody, a question comes up, even if it's unrelated to the content we're discussing right now, shoot it out there and we'll do our best to answer it.
Absolutely.
What do you want to talk about next, Mandy?
Well, it kind of related to building your front desk team. How you coach them matters. Because you don't, like we mentioned, you don't want to be talked at. You want to be explained the why behind what you're doing, and you want to be able to know that what you're doing is valued.
Absolutely. Mandy just said, explain the why behind it. My God, we could write a whole book on that. That is so absolutely important, and you must communicate that to your team. But yeah, like Mandy said, how you coach your team, the way in which you coach matters. We start this article out like, if this describes you, if you use threats, whether it be like threatening their job, threatening their pay, threatening some sort of disciplinary action, if humiliating them in front of their co-workers, or if you use anger or any kind of ridicule whatsoever, if any of those are your method of trying to coach your people, I hate to break it to you, but you're not coaching at all. What you're doing is you're actually trying to control your team with an iron fist. And I also want to break it to you, you cannot control your team. You can only try to coach them. And any of those methods will absolutely bring you nothing but heartache, I promise.
It just creates, the people will build up a wall, and anything you try to do with them or for them will fall on deaf ears.
Yes, to begin with, you need to genuinely care. And if you do, then it will come out in the way you talk to people. And again, there's two ways you can coach people. When you begin to coach them properly, like we're discussing. And one you hear about all the time, one you don't hear about as much. You can coach for performance, and you can coach for development. Now, we hear all the time about people coaching for performance. And yes, it is important. Teaching them how to perform at a high level, make sales numbers higher, convert, all those usual terminology that you hear about coaching for performance. And that is necessary. But there's more.
Yeah. You want to also coach for their development, because by investing in their development on a personal level, it will create a loyalty in the employee, in the organization, and that loyalty will create them to want to do more without you even having to ask.
Exactly, and that does not mean you ignore performance. You absolutely do not. You have to track it, you have to coach on it. But what it means is you're going straight to the source of that performance, and that's the individual. Because you want to develop that individual. If your hiring process has netted you someone who is coachable, then you honestly